Hi, I'm Andy.
I'm Nancy. Welcome back. Today's video, it's those things we probably should have done before we moved to the new spot, but
Might have been helpful to do them first, but
yeah, but they're done now. And
they're done.
We're boondocking.
It feels nice to know that I can go outside in the morning and hit a switch and have power, and I don't need anybody else's power to do that with.
You just got to listen to a generator, but someday solar. And
honestly, after Zimmerman, Zimmerman was loud.
Yeah.
Zimmerman was like ridiculously loud, and we were there for a long time, so I kind of got used to all the noise. So the generator all by itself, that little bit of noise outside, to me really isn't that bad. To other people might not appreciate it, but to me, honestly, that ain't nothing.
There's only one house within half a mile, and they don't seem to care, and it's wintertime, so everyone's got windows closed. I think that makes a big difference too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
Middle of summer, trying to sleep with your window open, you know, even if we're off before 10 every night, usually before 9, but
yeah,
still,
yeah, that's because old people. My arm is getting tired.
I don't even know why we're rambling.
Of being an old person.
Connor and I took the water pump apart last night, put it back together. There's a piece of debris in it. We think it's going to be fixed now, and let's test it. You want to hook up the power or hold up? Oh, no, I'll hook up the power. Okay. Once you start squirting water, pull it back off. Okay. Oops, hold on. Let's switch that back around. Because that really doesn't matter. It's just an on-off switch. Electricity can flow either way. Oh, okay. Okay. Hey, stop.
We got water.
Do that again.
Okay.
Hopefully I don't make it. Stop, stop. Okay. Yep, we can build pressure too. Whoa, I'm glad I went that way, not that way with the camera. Yeah. I didn't think it was going to squirt that far at all. Now that we know that the pump works, we want to mount it. And we had it mounted on the floor, and wow, was that loud. And I wouldn't mind mounting it to the floor of the bay, but this tank is going to be on the other side of this beam way sooner than later, and I just don't want to put any holes in the floor that I don't need to. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the pump and I'm going to ratchet strap it right to the side of the tank. I'm going to see how much that changes the noise volume inside of the coach, and I'll know whether that makes much of a difference or not, and from there I'll decide what I do in the future. We're going to have water again, and that means the dishwasher is going to work again, and that's all I really care about today.
I believe I've got it correctly.
Connor's our plumber-in-chief. Resident plumber, I don't know what the right term is, but he does most of our plumbing work, and once again I'm just going to watch him with the camera while he plumbs away.
The pump will need to be moved a bit that way.
Okay, we can do that. I'll loosen the strap, you spin it where it needs to be, and then I'll retighten the strap. Okay.
Can you hold the pump like how it is?
Yeah.
That's in here would be good. Yeah.
That's good?
Mm-hmm. This has to be moved up a bit.
Oh, okay, hold on. You can loosen it.
There you go. That looks fit in well. We're gonna put the clamp on.
Seems pretty tight there. The intake straight now?
Yep.
Okay.
New straight. I can put it on. The hard thing is gonna be crimping it. You gotta fit in
back in the yeah.
How I'm gonna do it.
listening to Bad Chad last night. He says, I'd rather cut something 3 times than cut it too short the first time.
Yeah, this one I need to make sure that this is the right length while also keeping it up for this. Oh yeah, that can go over there. Yeah, I'm gonna need another piece. Or maybe not.
It'd be cool if that was perfect.
This is not. I purposely cut that bit too big. But I think I'm gonna be able to use this piece.
And just use up the red that we have and save the glue.
Yeah. I probably don't need to do this. I haven't really had a bad crimp before, but I've done a lot. I kind of want to test some of them.
I think it's one of those good things to test a couple a day. Make sure your tools and everything working properly. And then beyond that, I agree. I don't think everyone needs the go no go check. Now we have to install a valve in the toilet. Then we can pressurize this system. Being we have the water shut off right now, we want to be able to turn off the water going to the toilet from up inside the coach, not have to come down here to turn a valve. So this is the only valve we could find that went right in line with the PEX, but it's a pretty simple valve. It's going to work. We're going to put this behind the toilet. I don't think there's enough room for the camera, the crimper, a person, everything behind the toilet, so you just have to take my word for it. Well, there's no pressure in the system. I'm just going to take advantage of that and install this behind the toilet now. Maybe I'll watch Connor install it behind the toilet. Nonetheless, you know where it's going to go. Yeah, give us some
Like
space
there?
to take some off. Yeah, about there. Because we will definitely probably... Yeah, we'll be hooking something else up to that line in the future, and I'd rather not have to mess with that indoor stuff again.
Yeah. There we go.
We ready to hook up water now and see if everything works?
I believe so.
Who's going to hook up power to the pump?
I don't know. You do it. I've done all the plumbing. No.
But, so you did all the plumbing, so if something explodes and splays water all over the place, I'm the one that gets to get wet?
Yeah. It should be fine.
See what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, there's 2 gallons.
Yeah.
How long does it take to pump 2 gallons? But just a little bit longer than I wanted it to.
Yep.
Just enough to make you nervous, but I don't know. Do you think the pump was quieter inside like that? quieter not having a pump on the floor?
Okay.
You may realize there's no door on this cabinet here. And that's because if there was a door on it, this would be an oven and not a cabinet. I had this idea that the heating duct could come out right underneath here, then the heat could come this way and the heat could come this way. I had some insulation up underneath there. I thought that was going to be enough. It wasn't enough. It turned the pink insulation like a shrinky dink, kind of just shrunk it and wrinkled it up. And ever since then, we've just kept the door off. Now I'm going to fix that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the duct to over here. I bought some ducting for it, a vent. Probably have to put some trim around it, but we're going to make it so this is no longer an oven and it's back to a cabinet. Hoping to be able to go all the way through the floor with it, like this down even lower yet. I got to trim it just a little more. Obviously I can't put this through the floor. Yeah. And I'm still going to have to trim it so that I can, I think I'm going to trim about half of this off or half of this off. I'm also going to do the same here because I don't need these flaps either. So I'm going to trim this off so that everything can get pulled in as tight as I can pull it in. Okay. Then I'll box in around it, and then the garbage can go up here. Hopefully we don't cook the garbage like we cook the pantry. Finish that up after dinner then. When I put the generator in here, I bolted it down, but 3 bolts, and I can pull it back out, and that's what I'm going to do now. I think I'm going to pull it out and set it out here, you know what, 10 feet away from the bus, but being we're not going to move for a couple weeks, we're relying on this for our energy right now. It'd be nice if the vibrations were removed from the bus. I probably should do something more permanent with it, but I'd really like solar in the future, so I want to keep this kind of a pain in my ass, because if I make this too easy, then I'll push the solar off even further. I have one of those J-hooks in the front, one in the back, and then I have this U-bolt that looks kind of janky, but it's holds it pretty tight to the frame like that. I'll get these other 2 off of here and then drag this thing out of here. Another thing when I purchased this generator is the wheel kit was like $100. But a 2-wheel dolly's like $45, and I already owned one. That has always been my wheel kit. I have it zip tied on top of here. I also had a strap when I was traveling just because I didn't trust the 4 zip ties, but I bet the 4 zip ties would have held it on just fine. Let's see how much quieter it is now that it's out of the bus. It was on. Probably don't need the choke anymore. When a Honda doesn't start on the first or second pull, you know that it's usually user error. Why I flipped the switch off, I don't know, but oh well. Let's see what it sounds like inside now. I don't think it's any louder outside over here, which is good because there's a house this direction. There's nothing for half a mile or more the other direction, or any of the other directions. It's more than half a mile to the nearest house. But this direction, it's only a couple hundred yards. Go to the edge of their yard. You can still hear it, but it's not obnoxious. Quieter in here than before? Or is it hard to tell?
Generator?
Yeah.
I don't feel the slight vibration. I think that makes it quieter.
Yeah. Trying to use up as least space as possible with this duct. I ended up trimming this end. Kind of looks bad, but whatever. You're not going to see it inside the wall. That will screw right onto the duct. And this end, I can't decide whether I want to take this whole little piece off or just half of it off. I'm going to start with half of it. Yeah, this isn't working. I'm just gonna have to use an angle grinder. Should have used that in the first place. That was way safer. I made that shorter. I should have left the camera on, but I didn't. Either way, I ended up taking that whole ring off. You can kind of see inside of here. It's not perfect. It should flare out sooner than that, but it's going to get the heat out. It's going to work. And in truth, there's a 3-inch outlet on the diesel heater, and that's a 4-inch. So we're already 33% bigger at that point. We should be just fine. Now I just have to attach the grill to this and then get it up in the bus. Those 5 screws will hold that together quite well. Hopefully I never have to take them out again because they're going to be impossible to access once I put all this together, but whatever. Just a vent. I shouldn't have to do anything with it. Now comes the moment of truth. Can I get this duct to here? It goes from the diesel heater there. Looks pretty ugly because I covered all the end with foil tape. Didn't really work like I wanted it to. I just didn't want the insulation where I'd rub up against it and get itchy. But either way, I have to move it from there to there. Wish me luck. I got 2 female ends. They're not going to go together. I'm going to have to buy a connector that goes in between the 2, and that'll be the way to do it. Because if I take this elbow off of here, there's no way it'll be long enough then. So I just got to get a connector piece. Looks like I got to go to Lowe's. I now have a male end up there and a female end down here. Just got to get them together now. Should be easy. Now that the duct is installed, I got to make a cover for it. It's about 13 inches by 13 inches with like a, it's going to look like a diamond when I'm done. I have all my pieces cut out. Now I'm going to glue them together. I'm using tape. It's probably my favorite clamp. Clamps work well, but tape works pretty well for what it is. Well, that's not good. I like to say I got out of the way of that, but no, my stomach took it. At least it wasn't a big board and it wasn't a heavy board. There's the classic kickback mark. Good thing it's on the back side. I got the board for the vent. Now I got to cut out where the actual vent goes, then glue this to the front of that other piece I made. Time to test fit it. I'll glue this on here, and then the edges where they hang out on each side, I'll hit them with a drum sander, belt sander, and make them even, and then I'll paint the whole thing.
That is so cool. I've never seen a rainbow in the clouds before. If you think I'm just moving the camera around for funsies, no, this is actually what the road is like. Oh shit. He must love this.
Dennis?
Yeah.
A lot of no trespassing signs.